So what's the real difference between someone who is a prodigy and then just forgotten, and a true master, someone like Charles Darwin? Today, we are diving straight into Robert Greene's incredible book, Mastery, to break down the real, achievable path that leads to the absolute highest levels of skill.
This is the big question, isn't it? It's at the heart of any great achievement. Are people like Mozart or Da Vinci just born different? Or is there a process, a path that pretty much anyone can follow? Well, Robert Greene argues that the answer we usually go with is just plain wrong. And Nietzsche, he just nails Greene's whole argument right here. The idea of inborn genius isn't just some harmless myth. It can actually be pretty destructive because it gives all of us an excuse to not even try, to never really reach for what we're capable of.
Greene's point is that we basically built this wall around the idea of mastery. We call it genius to make it feel untouchable, almost magical. But what he's saying is, that wall, it's totally imaginary. The power that masters have doesn't come from some cosmic gift. It comes from a process.
Okay, check out this story of two cousins. On one side, you have Francis Galton, a certified prodigy off-the-charts IQ. And on the other, you've got Charles Darwin, a guy who literally called himself an ordinary boy. Now, Galton had all the raw talent in the world, but he just jumped around from one thing to the next. Darwin, though, he was driven by this deep, obsessive inclination. He followed his passion for decades. So in the end, what changed the world wasn't the raw talent. It was that focused, burning desire. So if the secret isn't some special genius gene, where does this incredible potential for mastery even come from? Greene's answer is kind of profound. He says it's not a secret gift for a select few. It's actually our evolutionary birthright, hardwired into every single human brain over the last 6 million years. I mean, think about it for a second. Our ancestors, they weren't the biggest, or the fastest, or the strongest things out there. Not even close. They were small, weak, totally exposed. They couldn't fight or run away like other animals. Their only edge, their one and only path to survival, was to use their minds.
So they had to evolve a completely different kind of weapon, right? An instrument way more powerful than any tooth or claw. And that weapon was built on a single, uniquely human ability. And that was deep focus. You see, unlike herd animals that are constantly scanning their surroundings, our ancestors' vision evolved for depth. It was this ability to just stop, pull back from all the immediate chaos, and focus intently on one thing that let them see patterns, make connections, and actually think ahead. Their survival wasn't about reacting faster, it was about thinking deeper. So what this means is that our brains are literally designed for the process of mastery. When we really immerse ourselves in a subject for a long time, we're not fighting against our own nature. We're working with the very grain of our neurology. And that is the true path to a higher intelligence. Okay, so how do we actually get started on this path? Greene says the very first step isn't to look outside for some trendy job. It's to look inward. You have to find what he calls your life's task. This is that deep-seated pull we saw in Darwin. It's that primal curiosity, that unique inner voice that was probably crystal clear to you when you were a kid, before the world started telling you what you should be interested in. It's the force pulling you toward what makes you, well, you. So the journey back to your true calling is all about stripping away that external noise. You have to ask yourself, what did you love before anyone told you what you should love? What subjects just made you lose all track of time? Finding that starting point again is the key to discovering a niche where your unique character can finally, really shine. So once you've found that direction, Greene basically gives you a map for the road ahead. See, mastery isn't some single leap. It's a structured transformation that happens in 3 distinct phases. So, phase 1 is the apprenticeship. You're an outsider, you're just observing, absorbing all the fundamental rules. Then you move into the creative, active phase. At this point, you've internalized the rules so well that you can start to experiment, to play around, to find your own voice. And finally, you reach mastery. Your knowledge becomes intuitive, like a fingertip feel for your entire field. And at this stage, you don't just follow the rules anymore, you start rewriting them. This path to mastery is incredibly powerful. But Greene warrants that our modern culture has put up a new, really tough obstacle that can stop this whole journey dead in its tracks. I mean, we are just surrounded by a culture that prizes the easy way out. We're always looking for shortcuts, life hacks, instant gratification. Deep, sustained effort is often seen as, old-fashioned or just unnecessary. And that leads us to retreat into a state of passivity. And this attitude is just so insidious.
It makes you lower your ambitions without even realizing it. You start listening to what everyone else thinks is best for you instead of that inner voice. Your work loses its spark, and you just start to feel disconnected, frustrated, and alienated from the very thing that makes you unique.
But, and this is a big but, there is a powerful antidote to all of this. Neuroscience has proven that our brains are incredibly plastic. That means that through deliberate action, through focus and practice, you can literally forge the quality of mind you want. Passivity is a choice, it is not a life sentence. So when you get right down to it, the capacity for mastery isn't some magical gift for a chosen few. It is the end result of a 6 million year evolutionary journey, and it is baked right into your DNA. The path is clear, the power is already inside you, just waiting to be unlocked. So the only real question left is, what will you choose to master?